Star time at the Apollo Theater.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In the glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In the glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Running through these little streets all day, showing love, that's the A-Town way. That's the A-Town way. Smoking blunts with my peeps all day. Bitches young in WA. In WA. From 5 to 6, just a piece of your day. Come and chill with your boy NK. Me and my crew sending news your way. From east to west, north to south, we in the streets all day. From hot topics to gossip to hot news. He got people out here blessing him, yeah, he hot too. The gang chose me and yeah, I do. Used to be the underdog, but yeah, I grew. You hear about blessings in life, but I'm proof. See a lot of faking around, but I'm the truth. Like OJ, niggas know I got the juice. He been a fountain, niggas know I got the youth. I shoot a shot like, bitch, you know I had to shoot. I plant them seeds so niggas know I got the root. Before you came, man, you know he had the loot. If it ain't about the money, man, you know he got a scoop. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In a glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In a glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Yo, what's up, ATL? This your boy, Notorious K, and we in the building. So, today, we about to get ready to get into some things. I got a lot of hot topics for you today. I'm gonna start off by introducing my guest. She go by the name of Sunshine.
What's up, ATL? This your girl, Sunshine, AKA the real Sunshine, and all of that.
Okay, ATL. So, first thing we're gonna get into today is we're gonna talk about some of the businesses that Miss Sunshine owns. If you want, you can follow her at her Fat Like Me boutique page on Instagram. You can find her also at what's the
Good Eats and Sweet Treats ATL, which is a treat making page, catering, event planning. Also, Dining with the Davis. That's where myself and my husband, we go out, we review restaurants and hot spots in the ATL.
And I'm, of course, your boy, Notorious K. I'm a rapper from the ATL, born and raised. My latest single, Blow Smoke, is out on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you want to find it. You can also follow me at Notorious K. That's Notorious, Nortorious, K, at Instagram, or on Facebook at Notorious K. Notorious K. I'm sorry. Excuse me about that. So today we're going to get into some things. We're going to talk about the past, present, and culture of the ATL. So today, I want to talk to you about the present ATL. We're going to start off by going over the current state of where we are compared to where we were years ago, like the apartments, for instance. What do you think about the prices of the apartments right now compared to what they used to be? Like, how much was your first apartment?
My first apartment was a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, the front door and back door on the same side, Dunley Avenue. I paid $350 a month.
Are you serious?
Yes. And it was actually nice for...
Now what year, not to reveal your age.
This
what
was
year
like...
would you say that was?
No, I'm good. This was like 1996.
Okay, so when I got my first apartment back in, I want to say 2009, I remember spending $450 for a 1-bedroom in Southern Heights. Well, they probably named, well, no, it was Central Park in East Point, and at the time it was like $450 and stuff. Like, it was a pretty decent spot, you know, and things like that. But I
I feel like in today's society, I feel like it's so hard for us to find a decent place
It is.
that you can feel safe at. You don't have to worry about your amenities getting broken into. You don't have to worry about your kids getting, anything happening to them, getting shot at or anything like that. I just feel like the rent right now is just entirely too high for what the apartments are willing to offer.
It is
Nowadays.
It really
like
is.
back even with the $450 that I spent on the apartment, I can honestly say that to a certain extent I felt safe.
And you
that
had
place.
a nice spot.
And I had a decent spot to
Yeah.
call home for my first spot. Like I was happy when I got my first place. That's all I had
Yeah.
dreamed of. Originally I was going to move in these apartments in Alpharetta, and they were like $454 a month and things like that. But but that didn't end up working out, so I ended up moving in those apartments. But of course, one of the things that really, really get me now is like I feel like they're taking all the fun out of Atlanta. It's like back in the day they had so many things for the kids to do. Like kids was into camps. They had the game rooms. Let's think of more things. The events that they had.
You remember Pick?
What's that?
When you were in school and you would work the summer jobs and they would pay you. We called it Pick when we were in school.
Now, when we were going to school, I think they really did not have much of those things, because like when I was in middle school, I really, really, really wanted to work so bad, but I really felt like I didn't have the avenue. It's such as like my brother did. My brother, he had his first job when he was like between 11 and 12. He was working at the Family Dollars in Underground.
Okay.
The one once you first walk in there. Yeah, so I had always dreamed to try to get me a little teenage job and stuff. I always wanted to work at the golf course over there at East Lake Golf Course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I honestly applied for that job for like 4 to 6 years trying to get that job.
And never got it.
That's how dedicated I was. I almost came close to getting it one time. I remember I was on probation, and they were really, really on me about trying to do, some positive things with myself. And I remember going up there, and I had the interview. The guy, he told me to call him back in 2 weeks. I can't quite remember what happened in those 2 weeks, but I know the 2 week time frame went by, and I ended up calling him back, and he was like, "Hey, buddy, I gave the position to somebody." And it made me so upset, because I really, 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 like, every year from the time that I was 14 till I was 16, I kept trying to get that job. That really had disappointed me. But to get back to what I was saying, when I look at a lot of the apartments nowadays, it's like they want you to spend some close to $1,000 to $2,000 just to not even have the proper security. Like, for instance, you got to put Ring cameras up. The apartment complex, their cameras don't work.
Right.
Your car's getting broken into.
True.
The gates don't ever work. The tenants are leaving trash everywhere. And then let's talk about that. One of my biggest pet peeves is if I'm spending $1,000 to $2,000 to live somewhere, like, I don't want to come outside and see trash,
or in the hallways,
or pee in the hallways. This is something that I would expect, and then it goes back to what I was saying. This is something that I would expect to have to go through in a place that I'm spending like $450 for. And then let's even talk about that. They have places out there that are like on the west side of town that I still feel that are overly priced for the condition that they're in. The ceilings are caving in, there's mold on the walls and stuff like that. Like, I've seen some personally, like, over there in the MLK area.
I think the sad part about it is they don't look at it like that. They look at the convenience of the location when, pricing these places. Like, 10 minutes from downtown, or
So I'm
20 minutes from the, yeah, that's how they look at it.
And I feel like the crazy part about that is it's like, so I'm supposed to feel happy about the fact that, I can go
You close to everything, but
to
live in a
downtown,
mess.
but I could, but my roof could possibly cave in, or my water could possibly be contaminated, or I got rats, so roaches. You get what I'm saying? Well, some people have roaches, but but you get what I'm saying. Like an overly infested neighborhood. One of the biggest things.
Do people still have roaches?
I
think people still have roaches.
Look, sad to say they still do. But like if you check Instagram, like I was looking at a video. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But something else that I wanted to get to real quick. I'm seeing a lot of break-ins in these cars. Like, there's a lot of high-priced places in Midtown. I feel like when I'm spending this much money to live in luxury, now that's the part that get me. When I'm spending this much money to live in luxury, but every day I'm coming outside to like 10s and 20 cars broken into.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it's like there was crime and we knew it existed, but I feel like it's nothing compared to
nothing
right
compared
now.
to
And I feel like it's not safe because we don't have an avenue that we can turn to,
What you want to know my honest opinion with the crime and stuff? I think. How old are you, nephew?
I am 31. I'm about to be 32 next month.
Okay, I'm 44, so we can count. But I think, like, when we were younger, like, we did stuff, but we feared our parents and we feared God.
Thank you. I was
right?
just talking to my mom about that.
So when we did stuff, we knew what would come behind it. So we tried our best not to get caught or get in trouble. Or if we did, and not to say we were out here breaking in cars and, whatever.
Yeah, my mama didn't play that.
Okay,
right.
whatever the thing was, you knew that your mama was going to beat your ass, right?
Most definitely.
Well, these kids now, the parents are just as worse as the kids. The parents turn up with the kids. Like, I can remember being young and my mama say stuff like, I don't party with my kids.
Yeah.
And if my mama had company over, or my grandparents, because we was in a household with everybody, the kids, you either go outside and stay out there, or you get in the room.
Amen.
But you don't come in here with the kids.
Amen.
But now it's no division. Everybody want to make their kid their best friend, which I understand, being close to your kids so that you can communicate with them, and get understanding and get them to be able to talk to you and stuff. But the whole, like, going out with your kids and that type of stuff, no.
I feel like we've gotten to a place where, with that particular, I feel like we got into a place where it's almost like the parents are afraid to parent.
They are.
It's like, I don't want to do what I seen my mama do.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I don't want to do what I seen my grandmama do.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing is just this. It did something for you.
It worked.
It
Back
worked.
to the basics, right?
It worked. Nowadays, you got these young men, especially, and I speak for all the younger men out there right now. It's like, they're not afraid to go to jail.
No.
They're not afraid to disrespect
Be
the elders.
disrespectful. Oh my God.
They're not afraid to go into your cars. They're not afraid to go in your houses. It's like, when I was coming up, we thought about that. We we knew that there were repercussions behind that, and it's not necessarily the enforcement. It was our parents.
Exactly.
I
Start
don't
at
want
home.
this to end back up to my mama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do this because I know she don't play that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear this lady mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the parents are not parenting, so they have nobody to fear.
That's true. I totally agree.
It's like it's for me, it's not even about trying to instill fear in today's kids. I feel like there should be like some type of safe space where the parent and the kid can communicate. without any repercussions, but respectfully. I had to learn that too. You know, so often I felt like, even with my own mom, like, oh, you know, like, I don't want to say this because I don't want to rub her the wrong way. I don't want to do this, but I feel, but my stepdad had to come to me, and he had to explain to me, you know, that there's a respectful way
to say and do anything.
Now, if you had have told me this years ago, I probably wouldn't even got the concept of that. I probably still would have been like, oh yeah, you know, woo-doo-doo. But nowadays, what I think about something like that is, it's not what you say.
How you say it.
It's how you say it. Like, I feel like sometimes with a lot of parents, they don't create a safe space for the kids to feel comfortable to talk to them. That's why it's a lot of kids out here stealing. You know what I'm saying? I do blame some of that on the parents, because it's just like, if you give your kid room to feel comfortable with you and come communicate with you about who they're hanging with, what they into, what they got going on, and also you do your reports too. One thing about it, I couldn't get nothing around my mom when we were younger. My mom checked everything. You couldn't hide nothing in there. She always cleaning. It's like housekeeping in a sense. She come in there, you know, she do a little thing, she folding up clothes, she's looking here. Papers here.
You might not know what's going on.
You never know what's going on, but she's peeping the scene.
Yeah.
So after a while, I just start, you know, like, you know, sometimes she would see certain things and then she would come confront me about it, and I just remember, I was just like, well, why is, because I used to vent. I used to write down, you know, like my personal thoughts in a journal, because I felt like I, you know,
need to
get it out, but I knew that these weren't things that I could say. You get what I'm saying? That I was just gonna necessarily say my mom. So one day through her cleaning up, she ended up going through my notebook, and she ended up confronting me about it. But I feel like a point that I ended up making to her later on was that, you know, I really want to be able to have a safe space to communicate with you without feeling like you're going to be upset, you know. And I kind of wish that even a piece of my teenage years, when I did start acting out, I wish I could have had those conversations with my mom. You get what I'm saying? But I was scared.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, I was scared. You get what I'm saying? Because it was just a lot of stuff that I just knew that my mom absolutely was not going for.
They put the fear of God in us. You know.
Yeah. So, one of the next things that I want to talk about is the traffic here in Atlanta. The traffic here in Atlanta sucks.
Yes. Look, we full. Tell your family to stay at home. We are full.
Exactly. Like, we are so overly populated. I remember growing up as a kid, I couldn't wait to drive. I couldn't wait to hit the road. Now I dread hitting the road.
Yes.
I do DoorDash on the side, you know, and then also I work for a peace company, so I do delivery.
A lot of delivery, yeah.
I constantly, one of my biggest pet peeves is the traffic. And the 4 o'clock traffic is the worst, especially on Northside Drive. Anywhere from Northside Drive, I want to say 75, 85, anything going back east, traffic, absolutely nothing but traffic. I don't try to go anywhere those ways. I honestly would not live anywhere back on the north side just because of how ridiculous that traffic.
So let me tell you, I my daytime job, I work from home now, but before I start working from home, I've been at home 2 years now, thank God. But prior to that, I used to have to drive up 85 north past Gwinnett to Gwinnett every single day. Going is okay. Going is a good 30, 45 minutes.
You say you
drive.
took 85.
85.
85. Okay. Okay.
That's a good 35, 45 minute drive, depending on the weather. Coming back in the evening time, That's an hour and a half.
I used to work up in this warehouse up in Duluth. As you said, going there was never a problem. When I used to come back from that job, I would be sitting, and keep in mind, at that time, because I used to like literally be in between funds, I'm not afraid to say that.
Oh yeah, of
We all
course
get it.
not. We
You know
all,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Gas is high.
We all go between
But-
blessings.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I was in between my blessings.
In between
So,
blessings.
I was trying to stretch my little gas and stuff like that. So, I had this thing where I would never really ride with the AC. Mom, oh, you crazy. I don't care nothing like that. I'm just like, I'm going to have me some air. But I literally used to be stuck in hour to 2 hour long traffic. Hot. So by the time I got home, I would be so upset. Like, I wouldn't want to even go to the store or do anything.
Don't want nobody talking to you?
I didn't want nobody. So I was just like, yeah, this job isn't going to work for
I
me.
used to have to call my mom on the phone and talk to her. That's the only way
I
can
do
sit in
that
traffic.
now when I'm doing my driving jobs. I constantly, have to have someone to talk to because it does start to wear and
calm
tear on
you
my
down.
nerves.
It
It
do.
does because I wouldn't say that I'm like I have road rage because but I am very impatient when it comes to certain things. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves is when you're driving down the road or when you're driving anywhere on any type of road and the cars in front of you are going slow.
For no
They're
reason.
going just slow. It's like you could go faster, but you're choosing to go slow. And especially when I have something to do. I'm one of those nice, nasty drivers. I'm impatient, but I won't go over. Like, in some emphasis, I won't go around you. I'll try to be as patient as possible and see how long we're gonna do this dance before I'm just like, you know what, I can't do this no more. I'm that type of driver. Cause I just recently understand that brings me to my next topic. The hit and runs here are so crazy right now. Like, I literally was in a hit and run accident back in January.
Oh, wow.
Where I was going down Campbellton Road, and actually they ended up totaling my car for it, but in my opinion, I don't really think that, you get what I'm saying, it shouldn't have been totaled, but to each his own. The insurance company was what it was. But to get back to the story, me and the tow truck, we were riding side by side. Now, in his lane, the cars wasn't going fast enough. But I'm over here in this tiny lane. Now, if you can picture where Oakland City is, and we're going back in the direction towards the Atlanta Fish Market, if you're familiar with that. It's like right in the middle of
Campbellton
right there,
Road
where
and that.
Kenilworth, where that little fork is. And we were heading towards that way. This guy, literally without even a thought, shifts over and like literally pins me into the line, crushes me into the line, and then he like literally was going to keep going as if he didn't feel. I'm like, there's no way.
Did he keep going? He
He
kept
tried
going?
to.
Oh, okay.
But the funny thing about it was actually 2 other accidents, live accidents that just happened ahead of us. So the fire department was directing the traffic, so he had to stop. Me, I went up a little further behind them. I kind of cut him off. I'm like, yo, I explained it to the fire department. I'm like, yo, this guy just hit me. He's trying to dip or whatever. But talking to him and stuff like that, like he was trying to act like he was surprised and all those things. He did not have a tag on there, first off. But I said all that to say this. It's like I've been seeing a lot of hit and runs lately where people are side swiping you. For instance, another instance, about 2 weeks ago, off Beecher Street. My mom was coming down, and I actually was on the phone with her. She was coming down the road, and there was a bus in front of her. And there was a car who had just swerved off and around me as if I was going too slow. But, I mean, keep in mind, I'm doing the speed limit. Then I think the car was stolen. But he came off and around me speeding, and I'm trying to warn my mom because he's coming around the corner fast. He cuts around the bus and her in the middle of them. Like, literally in the middle of them in such a tiny space. And swiped my mom's car and kept on.
And kept going.
And kept on. So I've been seeing a lot of that lately. We, of course, pick up your speed, but
Right, but be careful at the same time.
I don't think it's courteous of anybody to put anybody else's life at risk just because you're in a hurry.
You're in a hurry,
Just
that's true.
because, you want to steal a car slow down.
That's true.
Regardless, unless you got the police behind you, you know, smoking guns, slow down.
And if
get
you
what
got
I'm
the
saying?
police behind you, still slow down.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have been doing it anyway.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But like, I had a situation back in 2019 where we also experienced a bad accident due to the police chasing the car. Like the lady totaled my car and almost killed me and my friend in that, and all because she was trying to get away from the police. My whole thing is this: if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Don't do the crime.
Like, think about other people before you get into the wheel. Even with the drunk driving, stuff like that. Just slow down, people. You know, it's too many crazy things going on out there. And at the end of the day, we all want to make a home to our families. Think about it, that these people could be somebody's mothers, somebody's fathers,
somebody's child,
any of that. So
everything. Before you get off the subject of the traffic and let's talk about the graded curve. What is it on that graded curve that scare people? Like, what
I have
is it?
no idea. It's like, I think it's more so of the people that are not from here. A lot of the behavior, the newer behavior, as I call it, that's what we're gonna do. Because I don't really think anybody that's a Georgia native would do some of the activities that I've been seeing lately.
And they always blame it on us, right?
And they always blame it on us, but it's like, let's check these. Let's check these tags.
Yeah,
let's check
like
these
we've been
original
here.
IDs,
Yeah,
because I feel like back in the day, you get what I'm saying? We had a little bit more structure. Before that Hurricane Katrina came through,
it seemed like that's when it started, right? That's when
And
it
if
started,
you
when all
notice,
those people relocated.
every natural disaster that happens around us, it's like, why is the first place that you send these people is up here? We don't want these people up here.
Or they volunteer to come here.
They
a
raised
lot of people,
our rent.
Yes.
It's like, I like and I love my city to death, but I could do without all the people.
All the people.
I'm so with regentrification.
Gentrification, yeah.
I'm so
I love the
with that.
gentrification, but yeah, it's
But I feel like we shouldn't have to suffer because of it. We've been here. I feel like it should be some type of credit that we get on rent, everything, just because we are
originals, right?
I just feel like our rent should be a certain price. Like, this new rent is for the new Atlanta.
Yep,
Take
it
me back
definitely
to
is.
the old Atlanta. You get what I'm saying?
And the new Atlanta is really like a little Hollywood.
Like, I remember being a kid thinking to myself, I can't wait to grow up so that I can be a part of the freaknik culture. Not because I wanted to engage in, like some, freaks.
What a time to be alive.
But what a time to be alive. You get what I'm saying? I remember being a kid just watching, the women coming down the streets, on the back of the cars, the guys with the loud systems and stuff like that, the drinking, smoking and having a good time. I remember that.
It's funny you mentioned, because we talked about that this weekend. One of the girls, one of my friends that went to New Orleans with us, she's originally from Florida, and she was saying that they supposed to be doing a Freaknik sometime soon.
I heard that Florida still has like a Freaknik.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me.
Down there. I can attest to that because when we went on a trip when I was younger, and they had flyers up, and I remember asking my mom. I think I was about 11 or 12, so that could have been every bit of okay, but back in the early 2000s, somewhere up in there.
It'll never be another one
but it was after they had cut ours out.
Right.
And we were in Florida for a family trip, and they had flyers up about a Freaknik. And I thought Freaknik was going to... like, no, there must be something that they got going on down here. So from what I understand, that Florida, they continue it. But I'm like... I heard that one of the biggest issues with this was the college students. A lot of the college students, college women, were complaining about being harassed doing those things, but
when the redo or the original?
The original one. I heard that was one of the reasons. Don't quote me on that, but I heard that like through the grapevines growing up, that those were some of the reasons that the Freaknik was shut down
Was
here
shut
because
down.
a lot of women.
Maybe
I
their
don't know where
parents.
those women are because it's like there's a great broad of people. You get what
Right,
I'm
we
saying,
need
that
y'all
would
to
love
chime in on
Freaknik
that.
back. So for all those people, you get what I'm saying, that agree that we need Freaknik back. Let's start a petition or something. Let's send it
Yeah.
down to the mayor's office. You know, since they up there, they're approving all these laws, changing all these laws. Maybe, maybe they'll help us out or something like that. I also feel that we need. How do you feel about gambling here, a casino here? How would you feel about that?
I mean, I guess.
Could you see it? And where would you see it?
Well, originally they were saying that it was gonna be in the underground.
I could see that. I could see it.
But for me, I wouldn't care one way or the other because I'm not a gambler. I'm more so I'm gonna spend $20, and once my
What about
$20
the
is
slot
spent,
machine?
when I went to
You
Vegas,
sound like my mom.
$20 and that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Did you win?
No,
Oh, okay.
and that's another reason why that's
I
it.
do want to go to Vegas. How was it?
Vegas is fun.
Okay, so what do you remember any places that you would probably recommend that I hit?
Now we didn't get into the nightlife,
Okay.
but we stayed at the Venetian. The Venetian is connected. It's nice. It's really nice, and it's connected to like a walkover mall, and the walkover mall is kind of like, I guess it would be like our Phipps Plaza. It's kind of like their higher end stores, some bars, stuff like that.
And for those of you that don't know what the Venetian is, it's a really nice hotel.
It's a nice hotel.
Has, like this little boat. That
Yeah,
goes
got the
through
boat in the
oh my
middle.
God.
Yep,
Do you
that
know?
goes
So
through-
like that was one of the main reasons that I wanted to go, and I always said I had to stay at the Venetian. So for you to stay there,
Yeah, it's really nice, and guess what? It's not that expensive at all.
It's not.
And then you right across the street from the actual mall, and pretty much everything is in walking distance.
so how live is the strip?
very
it's
live,
very
like
live.
it's nonstop.
Okay.
It's very live. And then we went to what they consider Old Vegas. Old Vegas is just a strip. It almost puts you in the mind of, for me, I would say their own Bourbon Street in a sense, something
okay.
like that.
So how was it for you going to New Orleans? Did you have a great time?
Yeah, New Orleans was fun. I just feel like I should have had one more day, but that was like my third or fourth time
You
going.
actually just went somewhere else.
I went to Cancun for
How
a
was
week.
that?
Cancun was fun. I really want to go back. When I tell you, nephew, I don't remember anything because I was drunk the entire
I'm
time.
really like an island person. I really, honestly, like those are like some of my go-to destinations right now.
But anywhere, if you go anywhere now, I wouldn't suggest Cancun because there's still a lot going on over there. It was fun, but I just heard 4 people was killed on a resort.
So like, I did want to ask you that. Like, did you guys did have to stay in like a certain area, or did you guys have a tour guide? With
Well,
you?
when you're on the resort, like anytime you go out the country, have you ever been out? Okay, so
I would
anytime
love
you
to.
go out the country, pretty much you kind of locked in. Like those people don't really want those problems on their hand. If something happened, most of the time, it's always a backstory to it. But yeah, it's like they gonna check you to leave the resort. They're gonna check you to come back to the resort. They'll tell you when you get there, like, don't just get in a cab with anybody. Make sure they recommend that you kind of book through whoever your travel agent was that got you the trip, all your excursions and that type of stuff.
Okay.
Just be safe because you don't know those people.
So, when traveling aboard, or when traveling, period, what are some must-haves for you?
A nice place to stay.
Exactly.
Most of the time, I'm always looking at, if I know I'm going somewhere, I'll go. They have all the groups you can think of on Facebook. If I know exactly what resort I'm staying in, I go on and I join those pages.
Okay.
And I just kind of get a feel of,
Good too.
yeah, of what everybody is saying. Like, do this, don't do that. I will say when you go out of the country, and me and my husband learned this the hard way from Mexico, travel with cash only.
Okay.
Cash only. We swipe so much, and Cancun, Mexico has some type of law where if you pay those taxes when you get back to the States, you have 3 to 4 days to claim them, and they'll give you those taxes back. The taxes are very high.
Oh wow.
So like we bought a bottle of tequila. It was like $130 with taxes. It was like $170. Get back, try to claim those taxes. Everything on the website.
You were able to bring it back.
Yeah, you can bring a certain amount back. I think with duty free, which is in the airport, I think you can do 4 bottles per person.
So how did it work with the ordering process? Like, are you able to go into the liquor store and then like go to the airport with it, or
so duty free is in the airport, so that's the alcohol that you buy once you get in the airport.
Okay.
But over there, we went to some island and we bought a bottle that was like actually in Mexico. We just wrapped that one and packed it in our luggage.
Okay.
But,
Okay, so our next topic, the hottest dining and nightlife in Atlanta.
oh my God.
What are some of your favorite hot spots?
It is so much to do in the ATL. But for me, I'm more of like a lounge person. I love a lounge. I love anywhere they got a hookah, I'm there. If you give me a hookah, lemon drop.
Hookah spot?
I don't necessarily go to an actual hookah spot, but the places that I go have hookah. My favorite happy hour spot is Blue Cantina.
Blue Cantina.
You know, they have one at Camp Creek, and they have one in East Atlanta.
Okay.
I like the one in East Atlanta. That's the original.
What was that place that you just went with those swings? I know it wasn't Boogaloo.
With the swings?
It was a date.
Date night?
Just went, yeah.
Your third spot.
Okay.
Your third spot, you should try it. You should go.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I like the spot.
That's a dope spot. That's a dope spot. It's like a dope treehouse, a dope playground.
Okay.
Like they got all the arcade games. They got bowling, corn toss.
Speaking of which, have you? It's a place like what is that place? The Punch Bowl. Have you ever heard of that?
Been to Punch Bowl.
Is it anything like that? Okay.
It's totally different. Your third spot is a vibe.
Where is this located again?
It's located over on Chattahoochee.
Make sure you drop me the pin on that.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we can go over there one evening and then we come back and give people a review.
Gotcha. Most definitely. Okay, so moving on to our next topics, real quick. I want to talk about the missing people, the missing people here in Atlanta, real quick. Okay, so we have Susan Morales. She's the Mexican young lady that's been on that was on the news. Now, she's the young lady that was killed by the police officer. Now, so my issue with that particular situation, I want to start off there, from the bottom. So I want to start off with her real quick. My issue with this situation is we're supposed to feel safe. We're supposed to feel safe with law enforcement, but this young lady was violated by law enforcement. And at the most, he's getting a slap on the wrist. It's like, at what point do we start holding officers accountable? I don't care what it is.
Right.
Like, they're humans just like the rest of us. They just wear badges. My heart goes out to this young lady and the Mexican community. Another thing that I wanted to touch bases on before I move on to that, and we'll touch bases on that on next week's episode. I feel like the Mexican community don't really get the just due that they deserve when it comes to their community. Like, if they experience a death or they have someone missing, I feel like we don't really treat that as if, or just anybody's life. I feel like we as people, we don't feel like it matters until it's one of our own.
It's our own.
Whether that be our own people, our own skin complexion. It's like any life that is taken matters. Black, brown, purple, blue, we all human. And it's like, if you can honestly look at someone and go, oh well, she ain't a part of my culture. You get what I'm saying? He ain't a part of my culture. That ain't my fight. It's just like,
that's a heartless person.
It's like, how would you want someone to feel if you were in that situation?
You in that, yeah.
Moving on to my next individual is Havana Walker. I want to talk about her real quick.
I don't think I heard about this one.
Yeah. She's the young lady out of, what is this? This is Rossville, Georgia. She's 11 years old. She was last seen around 10 p.m. Thursday at her home. Investigators said she was communicating with a person online the night that she disappeared. When her family went to check in her bedroom, she was gone. And my issue with that goes back to what you...
How long ago was this?
This story was March 24th, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I haven't heard this one.
Yeah, so my issue with this is that Alexander is described as a 5'3" tall young lady with the weight of 104 pounds. She has brown eyes and blonde hair. If anybody has seen or heard from this young lady, you are told to contact the Walkers County Sheriff Office at 706-375-7810 if you have any information.
So sad.
For that, yeah, I know. That goes back to the point that I was making real quick about being involved in your kids' life and knowing what they're doing and what they got going on. Be very involved. These next two. Now, this situation, I really, really wanted to talk about this. I know that they've been missing for some time, and that potentially they may have
been found, right?
Have been found, and I'm still looking into that. But I pray that it's kind of like
they're
a mix.
Safe.
They're safe. I pray that that's not them,
right?
Because I've came in contact with these guys a couple of times working on Camden before our pizza place was moved, and they're nice guys. Anytime they've come into our establishment, they were always nice. They were always together. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It was always, the energy was amazing, and I can't think of anybody that would want to do that to them. So I'm definitely praying for a safety return, that they blessed, that they just somewhat clear in their mind.
Right.
My next case. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Missing one, man. Okay, so my next person of interest is the young lady that is missing from Clayton County.
Is this her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about this.
She's the young lady she's been missing from Clayton County for some time. I'm trying to remember what happened with that particular young lady. So come back to me on that one. But scroll over to the next one. Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at. So that young lady right there is a Camden Road native. She was last seen back in let's see. She was last seen, I want to say, back in January. Sorry about that. She was last seen in January on Camden Road. She's left with 6 beautiful daughters, and I'm praying that she has a safety return home.
Did they say where she was last seen? What
No,
may
they
have happened?
last actually seen her on Camilton Road. From my understanding, she actually lives on Camilton Road. Her daughter's birthday was last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Her daughter's birthday was actually about 2 weeks ago. She's 37. She was last seen along Camilton Road. They have not released any information as to what happened. They said they last heard from her as she was trying to get from Alabama. No, she was trying to get to Alabama to pick up her daughter. Clark and her family are hoping someone knows something about what happened to reunite her and her kids.
Man, that's so unfortunate. This is a tip for, I won't just say for the ladies. This is for everybody. Like, we are living in some really, 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 really crazy times. I post on my Facebook page one day because I was at the Kroger over on Glenwood and a man was following me. Mm-hmm. And I think he thought that I didn't see him. Mm-hmm. And first of all, he kind of tapped me with his buggy when we was coming out of the Kroger. Yeah. And so I just turned around and looked, and I guess he didn't think I was paying attention. So I had my fanny pack on, and in my fanny pack, I keep my good girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I still see him following up behind me. I turn around again, and he kind of slow up. Mm-hmm. But the crazy part about it is it don't even look like he was really grocery shopping. I can't remember if something was in the car or not. It just, And so as I'm walking to the car, mm-hmm. I'm still like this, but I'm going in my fanny pack. Mm-hmm. And when I turn back around, because I'm coming out my fanny pack, because whatever happened is finna happen, mm-hmm. he shoot off across the parking lot. And goes way across the parking lot.
It's crazy that you said that, because my mom, she always calls me and she always explains to me that she has the same type of interactions happen to her. Like, one day she was walking through the store and the guy just kept following her, and he actually walked past her and squeezed on her butt. And, she nutted up a little.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So, one of my biggest advice that I have for the ladies out here, be safe. Stay strapped. You know what I'm saying? Keep you some mace.
And not only that, have you a password. It can be a one-word password that only somebody close to you may know. Set it in your phone where you can speak it and it go to that person. If you have iPhone, they have an option where you can do that. You can set a password. Maybe put your most important people, pin them in your phone so that when you pull up your text, it's right there. Get you a safe word. Get you a safe word that when you send that safe word, somebody know what's going on, that it ain't good. It's not normal. If you send this safe word, something is really happening. Also, another thing, the phones are set up to share your location.
Exactly. I agree with that.
I'm on my family group, and I always get on my kids because they turn theirs off, and I'm like, it's not to be in your business.
Because growing up, that showed how it was with my mom.
Yeah.
I turned it off quick, but in today's, I get it.
But as a parent, I'm going to tell you, most of the time, we ain't even looking at it. Unless we're looking for you.
Okay.
Like, my son is 21. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, you know how it is being a black male. It's just something different about your boy. Yeah. So you constantly worry. Yeah. You constantly wonder.
I get it
and
now.
It's not that your parent don't trust you.
Okay.
Your parent don't trust the world with her boy. Okay. Most of the time your girls, not to say stuff can't happen to the women and the girls, because it can. But boys, it's like y'all hot-headed. Y'all got a point to prove. You ain't finna let nobody chomp you off. And sometimes you don't know, walk away, let them have it. Nah, you know to defend yourself.
I feel like that plays the part in a lot of the violence between men.
It does. It does.
And I feel like we all feel like we got a point to prove.
Got a point to prove.
The only point that you need to prove is to yourself. You get
to
what I'm saying? That you are man enough and mature enough
to walk away.
To simply walk away.
To walk away.
It ain't worth nobody losing their life.
Nobody.
You know, every life, like I said, is important, and I feel like we as black men, we have to stop killing each other for whatever the purpose is. I just heard a situation on the radio where, you know, the guy, he was dating a girl, you get what I'm saying? And to just wrap this up real quick, he was dating a girl, and she got with another guy and stuff like that. But the guy, you know, he was on the rah-rah. He was like, well, at the end of the day, you lost your girl. If you want to, you know, like, you come get her back. But see, it's not even about that. If she made her decision, then you leave. You let him have that.
And be done with it.
You let him have that. Because at the end of the day, she gonna go do the same thing
To the next
person, and the next person. That's more black men we losing.
Yep.
All because of, you know,
A woman.
And not even just necessarily a woman because of your temper. Just simply walk
Ego.
away. Just breathe. I know it sounds like the weakest thing in the world. I used to feel like that. But fellas, it's not.
It's not worth it.
It's not weak to just walk off. You're not less of a man just because you walking off. It don't make you less of a man to just let it go.
Let it go. That's it.
That's all I got for you, ATL. We'll see you back next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Same place, same time. Thank you all for officially kicking it in the A with your boy Notorious K.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In a glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe in the glorious way.
In a glorious way. Kicking it with Notorious K.
We gon' vibe and have a glorious day. Right here in the A.
Running through these little streets all day, showing love, that's the A-Town way. That's the A-Town way. Smoking blunts with my peeps all day. Bitches young in WA. In WA. From 5 to 6, just a piece of your day. Come and chill with your boy NK. Me and my crew sending news your way. From east to west, north to south.